Hi, and welcome back to Symbiotic Thoughts. Today I'm going to talk about my favorite One Piece arc of all time, and maybe one of the best arcs of all time, Water 7 Ennies Lobby. There will be spoilers for this arc, so if you're not caught up yet, I suggest you click away. I'll give you people who haven't watched yet a few seconds. Now that those people are gone, let's get into the video. Water 7 Ennies Lobby is the most emotional arc in One Piece. Before this arc, the Straw Hats felt unbreakable, like an inseparable family that had conquered every challenge together. But here, everything falls apart. Usopp leaves, Robin is taken, and by the end, we even lose the Going Merry. This arc is about loss, but it's also about love, about what it means to be a part of something bigger than yourself, and how even in the face of betrayal, pain, and separation, true bonds will always find a way back. The story begins before the Straw Hats even reach Water 7. The Straw Hats encounter the unstoppable force Aokiji, one of the three admirals of the Marines. His arrival is casual, almost lazy, but the moment Robin sees him, she freezes. The shock in her face says it all. She's taken back to the Buster Call that destroyed Ohara, the trauma resurfacing instantly. And then Aokiji plants the first seeds of doubt in the Straw Hats.
裏切っては逃げ延びて取り入っては利用してその尻の軽さで裏社会を生き延びてきたお前が
Every group Robin has ever been a part of has been annihilated, except for her. Then Aokiji demonstrates what Admiral is capable of. He defeats the Straw Hats effortlessly, freezing Robin completely and nearly killing her. This shocks the crew and leaves them in panic, as Usopp and Chopper argue to see if Robin can even be saved. Luffy is furious. He's ready to fight for her, but it's pointless. Aokiji defeats all of them swiftly. He could have ended them right then and there, but he lets them live, saying he's just testing them. This moment does more than show the power gap between the Straw Hats and the Marines. It sets up Robin's internal conflict and her fear that she truly is a curse to those around her. It leaves the Straw Hats shaken, something we haven't seen until this moment. The Straw Hats arrive in Water 7. They meet the Galila shipwrights and were introduced to Frankie. This is where the first cracks in the crew begin, starting with Usopp. The Going Merry, the ship they sailed on since the East Blue, is beyond repair, but the real devastation happens when Usopp gets ambushed by the Frankie family. They steal 200 million berries from him, and when Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Chopper find him, he's beaten, bruised, and humiliated. After they ride out for Usopp, he asks Luffy if the ship can be repaired. But Luffy, instead of explaining the ship is beyond repaired, immediately just tells them that they're getting a new ship. From Usopp's perspective, this feels like Luffy is throwing the Merry away without a second thought. Worse, Usopp believes the money being stolen is why they have to ban the ship. So in his mind, this is all his fault. This is their breaking point for Usopp. You see, Usopp's self-esteem has always been fragile. He's always been the weakest fighter in the crew, and getting beaten so easily by the Frankie family just reinforced how powerless he is. And in the middle of that, the one thing he's been able to take care of, the Mary, is suddenly being taken away from him. The ship wasn't just a ship to Usopp, it was a piece of home, a gift from Kaya, a connection to Kaya and his past. When Luffy tries to explain, Usopp refuses to listen. He yells that the ship can be fixed, that the shipwrights are wrong. Luffy, angry and frustrated, tells Usopp to just leave if he doesn't accept it. Sanji steps in and kicks Luffy before he can finish his sentence. Luffy apologizes, but at that point, Usopp's thoughts of being unwanted are confirmed and he has already decided to leave. He challenges Luffy to a duel over the Going Merry, and then, in one of the most heartbreaking moments in One Piece, Usopp fights his captain. Usopp seemed to have the upper hand originally, but in the end, Luffy beat him with a punch. Luffy wins, and Usopp is left behind. The crew is in shambles. Usopp, injured further than his interaction with the Frankie family, Luffy, Chopper, and Nami in tears. Two pieces of the crew right now are ripped apart. This fight is so painful because it's not just about the ship. It's about Usopp feeling like he doesn't belong, that he isn't strong enough to keep up, that maybe Luffy wants him gone. But later, Sanji gives him the words he needs to hear.
命がありゃいい。誰にでもできることとできねえことがある。
It's about having a role to play, but you wouldn't understand fully what this meant until the end of the arc. By the way, if you're enjoying this breakdown of One Piece's most emotional arc, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. While the crew is still reeling from Usopp's departure, something even more unsettling happens. Robin disappears. Just like that, another piece of the family is gone. But unlike Usopp, who left in anger, Robin vanishes without a word. When she returns, she tells Sanji and Chopper she's leaving and she's not coming back. She says this because she carries a darkness within her. After what Aokiji said, the doubt is already there. Did she really betray them? The truth is then revealed. She's been abducted by CP9 and accused of attempting to assassinate Iceberg. But the reality is even worse. She chose to go with them. When CP9 reveals themselves and capture her, Robin doesn't resist. She agrees to leave with them in exchange for the crew's safety. For Robin, this is normal. She spent her entire life running, being hunted, losing people who get close to her. She's been branded the devil, an enemy of the world. She doesn't believe she deserves a home. Why? Because of the deal she made. Why did she make this deal? It's because she was given two conditions. One, she had to pin the assassination attempt on the Straw Hats. And two, she had to turn herself in for the safety of the Straw Hats. If she didn't, the world government would call a Buster Call on the crew. The same attack that wiped out O'Hara. The same attack that destroyed everything Robin loved as a child. For 20 years, Robin believed she had nothing to protect. She could betray people, use them as shields, and move on. But not with the Straw Hats. Luffy and the crew chase after her, storming Ennies Lobby to bring her back. Yet, she still refused to believe she deserved to be rescued. Like when Usopp tells her to believe in Luffy, and when Luffy is in front of her in Ennies Lobby, and she still continues to say she wants to die. All of this all this builds up until finally we get the moment. The moment Robin finally breaks. The moment she lets herself believe in something. Luffy tells Usopp, Soge King, shoot the flag. This shows that they aren't just here to save Robin. They're declaring war on the world government for her. She remembers Saul's words. And Robin, overwhelmed, screams, For the first time in her life, Robin truly chooses to live. From here, the crew pushes forward, defeating the world government. Sanji's words to Usopp, I'll do what you can, stick with him. And it's in this moment when Usopp finds his purpose again. When Luffy is struggling against Lucci, unable to stand, it's Usopp who screams at him to get back up. This is where Usopp realizes he is needed. He does have a role to play. And Luffy, with everything he has left, wins the fight. At last, Robin is free. The crew is together again. But they have no means of escaping. Just when their escape seems hopeless, the Going Merry arrives. The Mary shouldn't be able to sail, but somehow she does. She saves the crew one last time, carrying them away from Ennies Lobby. But this is the end. The ship has reached its limits. And so, in one of the most heartbreaking moments in the series, Luffy sets the Mary on fire. The entire crew watches in silence as the ship that carried them all this way is laid to rest. Mary speaks, and that's when everyone breaks. And now they have to say goodbye. But for Usopp, it's even deeper. He saw himself in the Mary. He clung to it the same way he clung to his place in the crew. But now he has to let go. After all the fighting, the Mary is gone. The crew has said their goodbyes, and a new ship, the Thousand Sunny, is built. But as they prepare to leave, there's still one thing missing. One person missing. Usopp doesn't rejoin the crew immediately. He's too proud to apologize. Instead, he acts like nothing happened, waving and saying, I was just testing you guys. But Luffy doesn't stretch his arm out. He waits. The tension lingers. And then Usopp drops to his knees and cries, I'm sorry! Luffy laughs, stretches his arm out, and pulls him back. This moment is so satisfying because it brings everything full circle. Usopp finally admits that he was wrong, and Luffy never wanted to leave him behind. Luffy never wanted Usopp out of the crew. Water 7 Ennies Lobby is one of the greatest arcs in One Piece because it's about family. The Straw Hats were broken apart, but they came back stronger than ever. It's about loss, losing a home, losing friends, and losing faith in yourself. But it's also about finding your way back because no matter how far they drift apart, the Straw Hats will always be a crew. And that's what makes One Piece so special. Water 7 Ennies Lobby is my favorite One Piece arc. But what about you? Which arc hit you the hardest? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I've got more One Piece content coming soon, so stay tuned. See you then.